I now invite to the podium to join me for the Distinguished Alumnus Award, Jim Leo, our recipient, led by Father Paul English, a Basilian priest and trustee member. We issue at this time every year at Commencement our Distinguished Alumnus Award. It's our most prestigious award that we offer. And we do it at this time, graduates, because we want to present before you someone that we want you to model towards. And Jim Leo is a graduate of our school and our recipient today. St. Paul wrote to the Colossians, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters." That sums up the life and career of our 2019 Distinguished Alumnus, Jim Leo, class of 1967. Jim has spent his life dedicated to the Basilian motto of goodness, discipline, and knowledge. After graduating from Aquinas, Jim went on to St. John Fisher, where he received a degree in accounting and then went on to earn his MBA in finance from RIT. Jim spent almost 40 years working at Wegmans Food Markets, where he held multiple positions, including cash and insurance manager, divisional controller, corporate controller, and the last 20 years as chief financial officer and treasurer. As chief financial officer, Jim was responsible for corporate tax policy, accounting, insurance and safety, internal audit and treasury function, profitability, budgeting, and capitalization. Today, you know Wegmans Food Markets as a thriving employee and customer-friendly workplace. Annually voted by Fortune magazine as one of the best companies to work for in retail in America. Under Jim's leadership, Wegmans has grown to 99 stores on the East Coast, more than tripled annual revenue to over $9 billion in 2018, and manages a workforce of 49,000 employees. Jim is the recipient of several professional awards, including the Rochester Business Journal Financial Executive of the Year, St. John Fisher Accounting Alumnus of the Year, St. John Fisher Dean's Medal for Outstanding Service, and is an honorary inductee of the Beta Gamma Sigma, an exclusive business society, for exemplifying the ideals of honor, wisdom, and earnestness. And now, the 2019 Aquinas Distinguished Alumnus. Jim was a longtime member of the Aquinas Board of Trustees, serving terms as vice chairman, treasurer, and 2 terms as chairman. While reporting to Mr. Robert Wegman as CFO at Wegmans, Jim was instrumental in helping to secure $23 million of donations from Mr. Wegman to the Aquinas Institute. These funds were used to construct the Aquinas Fine Arts Building, Stadium and Fields, Student Union, Field House, extensive renovations in the school building, and to grow the school's endowment. Jim currently continues to serve the Rochester community through serving on the board of St. Anne's Community, where he is treasurer of the board and chairman of their current capital campaign. Jim has been married to his wife, Kathleen, who he refers to as Flower, for 48 wonderful years. It's my distinct honor today to bestow the 2019 Aquinas Distinguished Alumnus Award to Jim Leo.
First of all, thank you to Mike and the Board of Trustees for this truly great honor. And congratulations to the members of the Aquinas graduating class of 2019. You made it. Good job. And good morning to everybody here. As I looked at the past recipients list of this award, I noticed that, unlike me, they had all distinguished themselves in life in some great manner. The very first winner in 1991, before any of our graduating class was even born, was Mr. Robert Wegman. Mr. Wegman left this world for his heavenly reward 13 years ago, but not before making his mark on all of our lives. I think Mike Daly would agree with me that Aquinas would not exist as it does today without Robert Wegman's generous financial support of over $23 million and his strategic advice of always push forward without fear of failure. I am proud to say I knew Mr. Wegman, working for and with him for 27 years. I can never compare myself to him, but in today's context, he and I had two things in common. We were both graduates of Aquinas Institute, exactly 30 years apart, and both our fathers died when we were seniors at Aquinas. Bob became a second father to me, shaping how I thought about the world around me. I love Bob, and I miss him dearly. I'd like to share three things that I learned from Bob Wegman with today's graduating class. Thoughts that say life should be simple, so don't make it complicated. The first one is, be humble. No job or task in life is below you, and no one is below you. You can do nothing in life by yourself. You must work and live as a team member, always giving the team the credit for success and personally taking responsibility for the team's failures. Mr. Wegman would walk around the stores picking up pieces of paper off the floor and pushing shopping carts from the parking lot. He did not believe in job titles. Everyone was equally important to him. He was humble and respected everyone he met. Number two, do what you are passionate about. Do what you love and give it 110% effort and never, ever give up. And lastly, and most importantly, help others. I had the honor of being with Mr. Wegman one night in Philadelphia when he received a national award for his general support of the Rochester Catholic schools. He had given over his lifetime over $45 million to the Catholic school system in addition to Aquinas. When some dignitary quipped that Bob looked great in his tuxedo, he looked at the person and nonchalantly replied, "The only thing I'm wearing that I own is my underwear." When it was time for him to receive his award, he walked up on stage in front of 1,500 people to accept it and gave this 32-word speech, and I quote, "I attended Catholic schools, and the nuns always told us the purpose of life was to get to heaven. How do you get to heaven? Help others, and don't worry about yourself," unquote. He then played a song on his harmonica and said goodnight. So in summary, Aquinas class of 2019, remember three things. Be humble, do what you're passionate about, and above all, help others. Well, since I cannot play the harmonica, I'll just sit down. So thank you again for this honor.